Hey guys, it's Gaz. Welcome to another Warframe video. So in this one, we're talking about the new Nightwave augment for the Convectrix titled Efficient Beams. So what this one does is it makes the Convectrix beam shotgun not eat ammo up while it's just shooting mid-air pretty much. It also gives it an additional 150% status chance when fully maxed out. So we don't actually want to completely max out this mod. Or you don't need to, rather. You can if you want to, but the way this thing works, guys, you can actually get to 100% status with 2 dual stats, and this mod at rank 4. If you go to rank 5, it's just going to take 1 more mod point out of your build, and it's not going to, you're not going to get to 110% status. This thing has 100% status just with the rank 4 version of this. So don't feel the need to rank it up if you don't really want to, because there's no reason to go to 150% status with this build. So yeah, this gets us to 100% with 2 dual stats, guys. And it also really solves the big problem this weapon had before in the past, which was ammo issues. It had tons of ammo, because the thing is, you'd start focusing your beam on this thing, and like while the beams converge to the middle, it was just wasting ammo before. So you basically be down to like 60 shots in your magazine from 70 before you're even dealing damage to the enemy. So this thing completely changes that dynamic, and it means you can actually run fire rate mods in this thing now and not completely like ruin your magazine. Because that was the problem with it before, is that you could not really put fire rate mods in this thing if you wanted to like be firing for any amount of time. So as you see here, we got it's just like we're at 70 magazine. Like we can go close to the enemies, but as long as we're not damaging something, we're not damaging a immune object, we're not damaging a enemy, etc. It's gonna just keep us at full magazine size here, guys. When we start shooting, and all the extra status chance lets us tear through enemies really quickly. I believe we actually have some punch through in this build. This thing has 0.6 punch through at base, the Convectrix. And yeah, this mod definitely saves it a lot. I don't know if I'd say it's like worth really using too much. Like it's a good weapon, I guess, to some extent. It's like a really highly slash-weighted weapon, but compared to some other weapons like the Phantasma or the I guess technically the Phage is kind of in the similar boat as this thing as well. It's a shotgun that uses, it's like a beam shotgun pretty much. So if you look at the Phantasma here, the Phantasma's got 37% status chance, no slash or puncture, but it's got base radiation and higher base damage overall. But this thing is like a lot more crit viable. So the nice thing about this weapon, guys, is it actually has like maxed out revenge disposition. So you can get some crazy stats like this one. We got 205% damage, 121% multi-shot, or 121% electric, 179% multi-shot, and then minus 50% damage to Grineer. That minus damage to Grineer negative is really, really bad, but still, this thing can still kill high-level Grineers even with negative 50% damage. So, yeah, it kind of works out. So, the way we're building this thing, guys, it's just going to be 100% status, just like low-level shredder weapon right now. So we got corrosive on here. Corrosive will deal with anything on the star chart. This is going to work up into sortie levels. And if you did want to just go for higher, like we have Seeking Fury on here right now just for some punch through, because the way this thing works, I really found punch through to be useful on it, because just for dealing with hordes. It has a small amount of punch through, auto included, but I want a little bit more on there. The other punch through mod for the shotgun's called Seeking Force, and there's also the Vigilant one as well, which is called Vigilant Offense. Yeah, so you could use this as well. Yeah, the Vigilant set bonus actually is pretty nice in this thing, guys, but you can just put that in your Sentinel if you want to. So you can get a special Sentinel stat stick, or actually any Sentinel weapon will do. Just make sure you put all these Vigilant mods on there. So we got Vigilant Armaments, Vigilant Fervor, Vigilant Offense, and Vigilant Supplies. And they did change it, and I can confirm this one actually is changed, unlike the Nightwave Challenge from yesterday. You cannot stack the same mod across 2 different sets. So I couldn't put this Sentinel weapon with these Vigilant mods. Like I couldn't use the same mod on my weapon as well. It wouldn't give me double set progress like it did in the past. Okay, so here's the No Riven build again. Let's bump these enemies up to level 100, and we'll just show how it works on them at that level. Let's get a couple Bombards in here too. We'll get 4 Gunners, 4 Bombards. How about that? Just so you guys can see how it works against the other guys, since slash procs are relatively nice against Bombards, I'd say. Corrupted Bombards, of course. And I'll show the ribbon afterwards, because guys, if you get a ribbon for this thing, they're still pretty cheap, gonna be completely honest. If you can get a cheap ribbon for this thing, the stats can become crazy, like very easily. So we go for headshots there. Not exactly a realistic situation. Let's go for some body shots here. So as you see, like, we're removing the armor pretty well. Like, we removed the armor like too quickly there, actually. So she got to a red health bar before she actually died. And keep in mind, you probably wouldn't normally be running without corrosive projection against level 100 corrupted enemies, but you know, who knows? Maybe the situation would arise, guys. This thing could definitely handle that. But yeah, if these guys had some of their armor removed, they would be getting killed very quickly. As you see, like when they get, that was like a 5,000 damage crit on that guy. So that's without a Riven. Let's throw a Riven on here, just show how that goes. These guys are kind of as corrupted, so we can actually spawn some normal Grenier afterwards. We don't have Seeking Fury in here, but that's fine. No punch through, unfortunately. I do want to find a way to fit a punch through build onto my my Riven setup, but we'll see. Also, crit. If you get a crit Riven for this thing, guys, I think a crit Riven could be really good. Without a crit Riven, I don't think this thing is really that crit viable, unfortunately. It's got like a okay crit chance, but if you get a crit chance Riven, you could probably get that to like 70, 80-ish range for crit chance. And as you see, like when this thing crits, it's actually doing really good damage. So yeah, if you could a crit build that, if you could make that work with a Riven, I would love to see that. Honestly, I kind of like, I'm thinking about rolling this one to get some crit stats on it, but currently I'm just sticking with what I got. Since this thing just came out today, I basically rebuilt the Convectrix just to try this out, because I'm like, ooh, okay, that's like probably like the best sounding augment mod from like the entire set this season. So I want to try it out like ASAP, and it definitely is making me like this weapon more than I did before, because like it basically wasn't even in my inventory before. Cause like I actually did try it out again recently, because it did get buffed quite a while ago actually. But yeah, the buff and then this new mod making it a pretty appealing looking weapon, honestly. Me personally, I kind of wish that like the Phage got this mod specifically, just because like, you know, it's like an infested season of Nightwave. Like I feel like the Phage could have gotten a little bit of love there, because the Phage is a really cool weapon, and it actually has decent crit stats, I guess, and base viral. So you could make some pretty nasty stuff happen there. Alright, so that was pretty well and good. Let's do some Eximus versions of these guys. And I'm going to show a quick just Kuva Flood Siphon. I actually spawned in right on top of the Siphon in the gameplay today, guys. So, yeah, it's not a very long gameplay. I just cut it off after the Siphon. It's an Eximus unit. Not bad, not bad. This is like some of the most like broken stuff I can spawn in here, besides like a Nox or a Juggernaut or something like that. But I mean, not bad at all, guys. Not bad at all. I did try, like I said, I tried a crit build on here. I think you're gonna need a crit Riven to make it actually viable, because with Blunderbuss you only have like 30% crit chance, and it's got a good crit multiplier, which is nice because there's prime Ravage does exist, like a prime crit mod for shotguns. 30% crit chance is way too low, guys. If you were to get like crit chance on here, like I'd say like a God Riven for this thing would probably, let's hit the gameplay up while we're doing this. I'd say like a God Riven for this would be maybe like damage, critical chance, critical maybe either status chance or critical damage, like one of those two. But you definitely would want crit chance if you want to make a crit build on this thing work. And then maybe like minus impact, because this thing does impact damage. And the impact procs are really annoying, so if you could get minus impact, I don't know if that's a possible negative on this thing, that would be really nice. If you guys didn't know, minus zoom is not a possible stat on shotgun Rivens. So if you're trying to like roll for a god roll and you're looking for like, oh man, I cannot get a minus zoom roll on this Corinth or whatever, that's because you literally cannot get a minus zoom roll on the shotgun. So notice here, guys, we're using the efficient beams augment, and it's actually pulling ammo from our pool as we're shooting the ship and the Kuva Siphon, which are both immune. We're getting zeros, but still pulling ammo. So you gotta keep that in mind when you're using this thing. So he's got the corrosive build here with a Riven just tearing through these guys. These are Corpus, so corrosive not exactly the best choice, but we can also show my minus 50% damage Riven to Grenier on this Guardian, and he's like, hey, it doesn't feel like it's minus 50% damage. It actually did kind of look like it was minus 50% damage. That was pretty weak there. So yeah, if you guys had like a negative impact roll instead of negative Grenier on this thing, like yikes for the enemies, honestly. So we've got 100% status on these beams, and we've also got really high base damage, just like over 1,000 base damage. And like since we have a fire rate on here as well, it ticks really quickly, guys. So yeah, if you want really good DPS on this thing, I'd suggest some fire rate mods for sure, or a fire rate mod for sure. Shotgun Spaz gives you 90%. The Vigilant one, which you might want to run it. It's 45%, which is not a ton, but it also gives you a part of that Vigilance set bonus. So if you're not running that in your Sentinel or something like that, then consider that one as a possible option. The reason I didn't do that in here is because like I actually really do like using the Sentinel stat stick on this thing, because when this thing crits, like, it actually hurts pretty hard. And if I can increase that yellow crit to an orange crit, like, hell yeah, dude. Like, definitely. That's one of the reasons I think a crit build would actually be really nice on this thing. It's got really good base slash numbers. The mod for this bumps it up to a really high status chance, like, and you guys know, like, if a hybrid weapon is good, like, actually decent in this game, it's going to be, like, extremely powerful. So, a hybrid setup on this thing, like, that might actually show us why DE doesn't give us crit shotguns normally, because, yeah, 100% status, 100% crit would be disgusting, and maybe with a Riven. I know you can get some really high stats on Riven mods, since it's got, like, 5 dispo. Yeah, it's going to be up to you. I would say that this mod is worth building the weapon for, even without a Riven, but, like, at the same time, like, there's other weapons out there that are, like, just as good as this thing without a Riven, if not much better. So, yeah, I definitely would say it's worth at least grinding up to rank 9 to get the mod to drop in the first place. But if you want to, like, do a full investment build like I'm doing here, where it's like, I think we got like 4 or 5 Forma on this build and a Riven mod, like, that's gonna be up to you. I'm not gonna. I'd say maybe no, like, not worth it unless you buy a Riven. How about that? Okay, we'll go with that today. Not worth it unless you buy a Riven, and the Rivens are really cheap. I got that multi-shot damage electric one for 100 plat, guys. So yeah, I've seen them for like 10. This guy was offering me one for 10 earlier. So yeah, just good luck figuring out that stuff. There's gonna be a new video tomorrow as well. I'm gonna put out that Ember video that I spent like 8 hours playing Ember on. So yes, you will learn the pain of 8 hours of Ember, guys. I will see you very soon. Please like, share, subscribe, and yeah, peace, guys.